in order to help you have a brief idea what I am going to talk about for this afternoon, here is the content of my presentation, and I will start it with the introduction, and I will have a few questions to all of you, so please join me to share some idea related to the topic. And then I will move to the body, and in the main body I am going to talk about the Buddha life event, and in that I will focus on his birth, childhood, education, the seek for enlightenment, the spirit of his teaching, the nirvana of the Buddha, and the last one in the body will be some of the Buddha's teaching. And I just to confirm that some teaching of the Buddha here is not covered for the summaries of the Buddha's teaching, but I just read some important teaching or useful teaching that I think that we can apply in our daily life in order to learn and practice more. And I will conclude with the introduction, my thought or my final thought on the topic. Let's move to the first part of my presentation, which is about the introduction. And here I have 3 questions that I would like to our friends or classmates to share with me. The first question is, who is the Buddha? And the second one is he a human or a god? And the last one is, what is his ultimate goal from your understanding? Can anyone share with us? Maybe if you can answer only the first question, or you can also try second or any question. Yeah. Okay. Anyone want to share?
I would answer.
Okay, Ran, thank you.
If you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, he is not the God. He is a human.
So the second question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What is about the last one? What is his ultimate goal? Do you know? Maybe just guess.
Maybe just teaching the people to like how to do good things, or teaching them about like life skills.
Yeah.
As you know that I don't have a background, but I think this. Yeah, it's about like teaching them about life.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Ran, for your sharing. And it's actually it is correct for your answer, but I would like to share a little bit more with you. The Buddha is an enlightened one. Actually, he is a human, as Ran has said, and his ultimate truth is the nirvana, or the end of suffering. It is true that the Buddha spent his lifetime for teaching people, and the goal of him is to help people to end up their suffering, as he realized the truth, the way that we can end up suffering. Okay, so hope you can get some more idea, and to help you have more idea about who is the Buddha, I will share with you in the body, and you will can see and understand more. Okay, so here I am going to talk about his birth, childhood, and education. Actually, as many books has mentioned that the Buddha was born in Lumpini Park in India around 544 BCE. Yeah, and his father is Sototana or Serai Sototana, and his mother is Queen Maya. Or sometimes in Cambodia we also can know the Serai Mahamaya TV. Unfortunately, his mother just passed away 7 days after giving birth to the prince. And in his childhood, the Buddha was took care by his stepmother, Prajapati. In Khmer, we can say Prajapati Kotamai, and she is a younger sister of the Buddha's mother as well. In his childhood, he was kind, compassionate, and thoughtful. So the Buddha was very kind to any like his relative, you know, and he's very passionate. He has a compassion to all being in his life. Talking about his education, when he was a child, the Buddha was educated in the 5 main skill, and I don't think like some people might not know well about him if we have not learned much, and we just know that the later life of the Buddha, but in his early life we might not know much about him. Okay, so now I am going to share with you what are the 5 main skills that the Buddha was educated. So the first one is grammar. It is related to that time, you know, that the Buddha was taught the grammar related to the language in India, and the arts and craft, medicine, logics, and religions. Yeah, so these are the 5 main skills that the Buddha was educated in. And that's why he knows a lot. Even he have not become the Buddha, the enlightened one, but he had a lot of knowledge. Yeah, and here related to the religions, actually at that time the the Buddhism was not considered as religions, and the religion here just focus on some religions in India, and especially related to Brahmanism. In Khmer we call Proeung Thoy. That was the religions that was educated. Let's move to the next part, the seek for the enlightenment. I'm sorry because of the time constraint that I cannot talk much on each part, but at least hopefully all our classmates can get some idea of the life of the Buddha. So at the age of 29, he left the royal palace, and it just to share with you that before the Buddha left the royal palace, he also got married and got one child. And on the day that his child was born, that's day the Buddha just left the royal palace and seek for the enlightenment. And after seeking the leaving the royal palace, he not just go straight to find the way of enlightenment by his own. He just also seek thought for the other famous teacher at that time. Yeah, and he spent 6 years for seeking the enlightenment, and finally he got the enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. After his enlightenment, he spent 45 years of spreading the Dharma. Yes, and the main followers of the Buddha is known as the monks, the venerable monks. And by the venerable monks, the first he was just alone, and then he started to teach the Dharma to his 5 disciples here, as you can see in this picture. And after that, more and more men became a monk and helped the Buddha to spread his teaching and the Buddha. Yeah, so according to the picture that I have collected, hopefully you can get the idea. There are many, a lot of many things to talk about the life of the Buddha, but just in brief. And both monks and lay people, after listening to the Buddha's teaching, they realize the truth, and also they join and spread the teaching with the Buddha. So in total 45 years, because he left the royal palace at the age of 29, and got enlightenment at the age of 35, and he passed away, got the nirvana at the age of 80. So in total 45 years for spreading the Dharma. Yeah, and now just move to the nirvana of the Buddha. So it was a very sad news that the Buddha just passed away then at the age of 40, and at that time it was about around 544 BCE. Yeah, so this is just a brief Buddha's life event that we can learn of that. Okay, so let's come to the next part of my presentation, which is about the teaching of the Buddha. In total, 45 years, the Buddha taught the Dharma for 84,000 Dharma in Khmer, 84,000 Prathamakhand. But here I just mentioned some of his teaching. Every phenomenon is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. As the Buddha teaching, nothing is permanent. Whatever that exists will disappear. Okay, so the two types of action that were taught by the Buddha, the first one is wholesome action and unwholesome actions. So whatever action that we are doing in our life, it can be a wholesome action or unwholesome actions. How can we know that it is wholesome or unwholesome? It depends on, we can see the fruitfulness of the action. The action that make ourselves and other runners happy, or it can consider as a wholesome action, and any kind of action that bring the harmful to people around us, even we the doer get a good fruit, but it sometimes it might be considered as the unwholesome action. Okay, and here are the three main teaching. These are can consider as the summary of the whole Buddha teaching. The first one is not to do any evil. In Pali we say sabapapasa akaranang, and the second one is to do only good deed. We can say kusalasu pasampata or kusalasu pasampati in Khmer Pali, and the third one is to purify the mind. Saccata pariyata panang. These are the three main teaching of the Buddhas. It is not only for the Gautama Buddha that I am presenting now, but all the Buddhas taught the common teaching. Okay, in the very last of the Buddha's teaching that I am presenting now, I would like to share with you the four foundations or four fundamentals of success. In Pali, we call Atipatthama, Atipattathoa in Khmer. The first one is willingness, Chante, willingness. Whatever we do, we have to have willingness. Without willingness, those kind of job, those kind of work cannot be successfully. And the second one is effort or energy. In Pali, virya. So even we have willingness, but we do not have effort or energy to do those job or those work, we might not be able to do it well as well. So with willingness, we also need effort or energy. And the third one is thoughtfulness, being careful whatever you do. Even in our study, in our, doing assignment, we also need to be thoughtful. Yes, we need to be careful, paying attention. Otherwise, we might not do it well, or we just complete the work without a very great result. And the last one is investigation. Vimangsa. Investigation, we also can say that like a kind of practice. Whatever we do in our life, we can consider it. We can, a kind of evaluation. After doing this job, if we think that it is fruitful, beneficial, and it is good, so we can continue doing it. If not, we might change it. So these are the four, factors of the four foundations of success in our life. Not only for the monks or any Buddhist, but every person also can take it into practice. Willingness, effort, energy, thoughtfulness, investigation. Okay. Now let's come to the conclusion. And From the topics of the Buddha and his teaching, we can learn the life of the Buddha from his childhood, and especially we also have learned about the 5 main skill of the, that the Buddha was educated in his childhood, and especially, hopefully all of you have learned some teaching of the Buddha, because some people, especially in our Cambodia, they might follow Buddhism just like their traditions. They just go to the temple to respect the Buddha, offer the food to the monks, and then dedicate merit to their ancestor, or they wish to have a very nice life in the future. But the main teaching of the Buddha is not for that. The ultimate teaching of the Buddha is to help people to get rid of their own suffering. As long as people learn, understand, and practice the way that the Buddha has been taught, we can realize the truth by ourselves, and the suffering will be get rid of by our own practice. Finally, I would like to say thank you very much for your paying attention. And if you have any question, we also share, or I also can share with you more. Thank you very much, lecturer and all classmates.